I know I've said this before, but this really blows my mind. The idea that you can create these artificial experiences in your head without actually experiencing these things. Like, you get sentenced to prison and you put some goggles on and then you experience in about a minute or two 3 years in prison. That's crazy. This is an example of it.
Welcome to Cognify, a facility designed to treat criminals like patients. Instead of spending years in an actual prison cell, prisoners could finish their sentence here in just a few minutes. Cognify could someday create and implant artificial memories directly into the prisoner's brain. These complex, vivid, and lifelike memories are created in real time using AI-generated content.
That's not real. That's just a thought experiment.
I know, but just the idea that that's what people are planning. What it does to me is like, hey, commit a crime because it's only gonna really be 3 minutes out of your life. I mean, you'll get all the experience, but it's like 3 minutes out of your life.
Depending on the seriousness of the subject's crime and their sentence, the memories could be tailored to the rehabilitation needs of each subject.
There's so many different variables that determine behavior. Only part of it is your memory. There's the environment that you find yourself in. I don't know that that stuff's gonna stick in any way that's gonna make me feel comfortable trusting somebody that's, for example, a murderer or a violent individual to be safe after a couple of days of that.
To ensure the long-term effect of the therapy session, the memories could become permanent, fully integrated into the subject's mind, as if they were part of their own personal experiences.
It's not a true prison experience. Like, think about it. I think opponents of this could argue that, look, some, felons, they go away for prison for 20 years. They miss out on their entire kids' lives. These guys go in there, get some false memories, they come back 3 months later and their kids are still the same age. It's not the true prison experience. The punishment part of it, I guess.
AI-driven analytics could enhance the device's functionality, optimizing future procedures based on gathered data and insights.
I think the overall moral and ethical implication with this kind of technology is a slippery slope. Right now, we're talking about using it somehow in an efficient way to deal with the criminal justice system. Then later it becomes entertainment, later it becomes something else. The tech industry, do we really trust them?
Is there a therapeutic element to this that could actually help heal somebody's trauma? Because there is some science here to suggest that it is possible.
You might think that this is still in the realms of science fiction, but in reality, it's already been done on animal models.
This MIT study back in 2012, we're looking at optogenetics and using light-sensitive proteins inside neurons to actually affect memory or even the element of suggestibility. This is something that's very possible.
For-profit prisons. It's an $85 billion a year business, with many wondering if taxpayers are really getting their money's worth.
Prison is a big business. It is about money. It's about having bodies in the prison, and that is what the American prison system thrives off of. If you have this AI and prison sentences are now a couple of months instead of 20, 25 years, they're losing money. So why would they even want to do it?
Apart from treating criminals, Cognify could be reallocated to other critical areas. These might include research and development initiatives that benefit society as a whole.
What if it really does go beyond prison? Suppose there's somebody who doesn't want to get married but wants to kind of experience what it would be like. So they put this thing on, and in 5 minutes they have sex 1,400 times and then get divorced, and then they're done, and they've had sex 1,400 times in 3 minutes.
The type of artificial memories is then adjusted depending on the crime.
So one of the problems with this whole AI thing is that authorities could actually plant false confessions in your brain with this.
An innocent man spends hours being grilled by police, and under pressure, he lies to detectives about killing his own father.
We as human beings are able to implant false memories on our own. Look at false confessions. You get somebody in there tired, especially somebody who's vulnerable. You get them in the interrogation room for hours. Many times they implant false memories.
Murdered your dad?
No, I did.
Yes, you did.
All of a sudden this person's like, yeah, I did it. It's the power of suggestibility. We already have the ability to implant false memories.
My name is Elizabeth Loftus, and I am a professor
at the University of California, Irvine.
Elizabeth Loftus is probably the most preeminent female psychologist of the 20th century, and she really put into question human memory and the fallibility of it.
I study people who remember things that didn't happen. And the take-home message from all this is that just because somebody tells you something with a lot of detail and confidence and emotion, it doesn't mean that it really happened.
Just through suggestibility, this innocent person starts thinking, oh, maybe I did do that.
Eyewitness testimony, we always rely upon it as like, you know, the smoking gun in these cases, but the truth is, it's not, it's inaccurate.
Well, if we can't rely on that, we can't rely on technology. I mean, because you can manipulate that.
Yeah, and every story we ever make about this, it never ends with, and thank God we implanted memories.